Raw after WrestleMania is been and it's gone, and there was a lot coming out of that bad boy.
Yeah, just a little bit. Just a little bit.
We're going to get into all of it. And in fact, it began before the show began, because as people were filing into the arena, the lights go out and it starts playing Nightbird by Marty Amado, which is a very creepy song.
Yeah, it's very atmospheric. So all the lights go out and it's just blaring over the PA, like hammering out, which is quite reminiscent of another incident in fairly recent WWE memory with White Rabbit.
A little bit. And no sooner had it started, that it stopped and it went back to as it was before. Very strange. And then later on during the night, Bronson Reed was doing a promo and we get a bit of static on the screen. And in the bottom right corner, you just see the word, hello.
Yeah, all in lowercase. And then it pops off. Just disappears again.
Again, as quick as it arrives, it goes again. And all signs point to this being the return of Bo Dallas, continuing the work of his brother Bray Wyatt.
Which is massive. I think this is something that people have been clamoring for, but obviously it's something that takes time and it's something that has to be done properly. Otherwise, it's not going to land. So I think that having taken all this time and obviously the Bray documentary, which I still haven't seen, I can't wait to see it. But I feel like this is going to be huge. This is going to be like such an amazing way to pay respect to Bray's legacy and potentially, set Bo up for years to come.
Yeah, so in the documentary itself, which you can watch on Peacock, except in the UK where you can watch it on Pigeon, it's at the very end where Bo talks about wanting to continue his brother's legacy and certainly intimates that the Bray Wyatt story is far from complete. And we're off to the races we go with this one.
Yeah.
When Raw started proper, we had our first sighting of Cody Rhodes as WWE champion on WWE TV. He's finished the story.
He did. He finished it.
Well done.
He won the belt, and now he's the belt haver.
The belt haver. If I ever was to become a wrestler, I would want to be nicknamed the Belt Haver.
Don't collect them, and they're not necessarily championships, but I've got a lot of belts.
I just have them, the Belt Haver. He was surprised by Triple H was the Belt Haver with a lovely video package that chronicled his roads to WrestleMania, if you will. I'm pretty sure there were some pictures in there of his TNA run. I'm sure one or two of the shots were from the TNA run. I'm sure they were, or the Impact run as it was then. And then The Rock came out and gave him metaphorically his flowers. And it was there that The Rock was very creepy. He said, can I just hold that belt?
Yeah, it's like I've me, I'm a big fan of wrestling. I've been in and around wrestling all my life. I've held and I respect so many wrestling titles and I've held them all, but I've never held that one. Can I have a hold of it?
Can I have that belt haver?
And then Cody's like, yeah, if I can have a hold of yours. And it's like, whoa, you hold mine, I'll hold yours.
Listen to that. If you're watching it without the sound, without the visual and just the sound on, it's a very different movie.
Give me that. Ooh. That's got a good weight to it. It's got a good weight to it. Crowd just going,
less Raw, more Brazzers. And once the belt haver got his belt back, Rock kind of intimated that, that felt quite good. Stop it.
But Rock also kind of touches on, I've got to go away for a while. I don't want to go away, but I've got to go away for a little while.
Crowd sang Bananarama.
Yeah.
As they do.
Crowd wished him well in his in his onward travels. And then he hands Cody something, doesn't he?
He does. He puts his hand out and says, you know what that is, without even having to look at it. Don't break my heart again. And we don't see.
What was it?
What's that drink, that beer that's been advertised in a really blatant way?
I have no idea.
Crystal Cerveza, it's that. Pan down and he's holding that. We don't know what it is. That's the fun. Cody looked quite perturbed by whatever it was.
It's a McGuffin.
It's a McGuffin?
It's a McGuffin. It's an actual honest-to-God McGuffin. It's like the lockbox. Oh, you don't want this getting out. Never find out what's in it. We might have done now, but you never found out at the time what was in it. But it's one of those. It could be any number of things, right? It's the excitement is going to tide people over, and it's must-see TV. Tune in to find out what's in Cody Rhodes' hand.
Something happening, absolutely, presumably. Now the nice thing
keys to his car.
Yeah, you know what this is. That's why he was wincing. That's why he was wincing, because it was like stabbing the inside of his hand. Oh, it really hurts. But this is the nice thing about this era is I have faith in the fact that they have started this tease of a story, and there is an ending plan.
Yeah.
It's nice to feel like, this will go somewhere. And to me, it all kind of leads us to possibly a Rock Cody match at SummerSlam. I'm going to put my chips on the table.
SummerSlam would give him enough time to shoot a film and be back if it was like a regular shooting schedule. I mean, you're looking at what, like most features that are kind of around, like it's maybe like 1 to 2 months of principal photography. So by the time Rock's obligation's done, yeah, I think he can be back for SummerSlam. But would they announce him? Is he going to pop up and maybe interfere and just be the boss, right? Because Cody had to do the whole, hey, I'm their champion, and that means I'm your champion too, boss. And so, yeah, it's going to be an interesting one.
It's a very intriguing time. That wasn't the only surprise we saw last night, was it? Or was there any surprise that we didn't see last night?
No. So we had Awesome Truth against Judgment Day, obviously, at WrestleMania. Well, they weren't just against each other, but they faced off in ring. But last night on Raw, John Cena came out to help Awesome Truth.
Yeah, he was their mystery tag partner. R-Truth had alluded to a partner that we couldn't see. Cheers, mate. It wasn't little Jimmy after all. Sad for that. But Cena ran out, got the hot tag, and they all did 5 knuckle shuffles.
15 knuckle shuffle.
Sorry, 15 knuckle shuffle.
And an
as it should be known. John Cena looked fun in there. It was a nice bit of business in there with Awesome Truth. By the sounds of what he said on the Pat McAfee show, it's not going to be the last time we see Cena.
No, he said, I was grateful enough that Honda kind of bumped to Honda. I'm just thinking about Gog from Peep Show now.
I was thinking about E-Honda.
when you need to sneeze, just go up and do it in his face. But I was grateful enough that Honda kind of bumped a commitment that I had to be able to do, that I had to be able to do WrestleMania. So I'll go from here to do something with Honda. So I'm going to go straight to that. He's going to do something with Honda. He wants you to know really intently he's doing something with Honda. I have a cool keynote appearance with Samsung in Las Vegas. The theme of the convention is the time is now. So they've called on yours truly to speak there. I'm very grateful for that. I have some more branding stuff to do before I leave for Europe to finish a movie that we started filming before the strike called Heads of State with Priyanka Chopra and Idris Elba. And straight from that to Peacemaker Season 2. That'll take us just about through to Christmas. And I'm crossing my fingers and toes in my heart that maybe I can tell the Hollywood world to pump the brakes for a while and come back to my family for one last run. I don't know. I hope. I'm trying. I hope we'll see what happens.
So we won't see him in a ring.
Lucha de apuestas, John. Hair versus hair. Come on.
Ooh.
Get it down, you.
Hair versus hair. Get it down, you. Versus the belt haver.
Yeah.
So this match on Raw was basically, I think, because Cena takes great pride in the fact that he's wrestled every year for X amount of years.
Yeah.
So last night was his one match for the year. Hope you enjoyed it. And then he'll be back next year. I reckon we'll probably get him doing something at Mania next year.
Of course. I mean, as long as he's free, Cena's always a great shout, right? Because he's somebody that,
fun.
You know, he's somebody who's been through the ringer of fans absolutely despise you, and then it's like, oh, actually, yeah, we appreciate you, John. We want you back, John.
I want you back. Now the hits kept on coming last night. We had a video package hyping the return of Sheamus last
Big Shamus,
night.
yes.
Big Shamus. We haven't seen him since August.
No, he's been out with an injury, right?
Apparently, according to the Observer, a really bad shoulder injury that he's been sorting out. And since he's gone, obviously, Ridge Holland and Pete Dunne have gone their separate ways.
Yeah, Brawling Brutes is all sort of falling apart, and I guess we're going to have solo run Sheamus on his return, and I feel like that's a good thing because
it felt a bit like that.
Well, Sheamus, through a Clash, right? Everybody was there, for everybody sort of there for the big Drew main event at Clash at the Castle, but I feel like Sheamus came out the better of the two in terms of fan appreciation. I feel like a lot of people were sleeping on Sheamus for such a long time, and he came out and he just delivered yet another banger, and it was so I want to see another solo Sheamus run, maybe a bit more focused than having a group around him.
He's got to fill that intercontinental title.
But he's very good at as well working in the groups. He's quite versatile, and he is a performer, so he can do anything. But I think I'd like a good solo run.
And it looks like we're going to be seeing it soon, but we don't know exactly when. What we do know, though, is when the draft is happening this year.
So beginning on April 26th on SmackDown and concluding on April 28th Raw, it was announced last night. So the draft is it's coming.
I like the draft.
It's inescapable, and it's a good thing.
Yeah,
right?
I think
it's a good thing.
And this is the right time of year to do it as well. Because we've got into a period where they were doing it just for Survivor Series, which was ridiculous. So just after Mania is a great hard reset point.
Well, Mania is like the season reset, right?
Yeah.
Every year. So Mania is sort of the end and the beginning of the wrestling year. for WWE's calendar anyway. So I think that, it makes sense to do it this soon after.
In terms of obviously who was confirmed, everybody's eligible and everybody could move here, there, and everywhere. Jade Cargill was featured in some of the advertising. Well, she wrestled Chelsea Green very quickly last night, so we could see Jade Cargill maybe move to another brand. But more importantly, after a surprise appearance and defeating Shinsuke Nakamura last night, we know that NXT champion Ilya Dragunov is available for draft. He'll be eligible at the end of the month, so this is a call-up for Drag.
First pick, and it's Ilya Dragunov to NXT.
Could you imagine? God damn it! I've been drafted back where I started.
There's all this hype. Every GM's like, we need you on board, and then he gets drafted straight back to Florida for another 2 years.
Stay there. This is looking like the call-up for Ilya Dragunov. I'm buzzing for this. They also announced on Raw last night the tag titles for NXT being defended tomorrow, and it got me thinking: do we take this as an opportunity to put Bron Breakker full-time on the roster as well? I think we do, don't we?
Yes. Yeah. Get Bron Breakker the hell out of NXT. Get him on TV. We need more young talent in and around the main event. It needs to, what? Do you remember when Brock debuted? And it was just like, F off, this is happening now. That's what I need. This is what we need. We need a disruptive force. We need something to come in and just level everything.
And that might be what we get. Yeah. Look out, Cody, belt haver.
He's not going to be a belt haver for very long.
He'll be a belt not haver.
No, I genuinely thought he was going to end up losing it somehow tonight. Not tonight, like on Raw. And it was sort of like, oh no. But it didn't happen, thankfully.
All the belt haver news from the news knowers to the
news wanters.
News wanters. News gratitude. For the latest on it, you can check out cultaholic.com. Stay safe. Bye, love viewers.